Welcome to the Human Nature Channel. I'm your host, Alex Tamsula, and what am I doing here? Well, it's Tuesday night once again, and this is a feature of the Human Nature Channel, which I hope to do weekly, which I call Winging It in My Dad's Farm Garage. Ta-da! We even have a red hand truck for you tonight. You never know what you're going to see. Now, winging it, it's an interesting endeavor. It's kind of tricky too, because if you're skillful at it, what you do is you toss out a theme over here and a theme over there, and you got a theme back here, and at the end you tie them all together in a nice little bow. If you can do that and you give it structure, it won't turn into just some ramble, which I'd like to avoid if I can help it. The other challenge with doing this kind of improvisation, winging it, is the word if it's even a word. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not careful, I'll be talking along and it's like, I did it. And I actually have done it in other videos where I was experimenting with winging it, and I even explicitly said I am declaring war on the word and I say it anyway. See, I just did it. You got to really be careful. You got to stay on top of this. And there's also its developmentally challenged redheaded cousin, you know. You got to be careful. It takes concentration to do it right, because it's almost an unconscious sort of thing. And then again, people would say, but is even a word? Well, even if it isn't a word, people say it a lot. Where were you last night? Oh, you developed a stutter, huh? It's so tricky, you almost have to worry that it's like hidden all over the place. The word could pop out of anywhere. It could be behind the microwave oven right here. It could be sitting on top of the lights. I'm going to try my darndest not to say and not to say you know. It's not going to be easy because we're human. I'm human. But anyway, here goes. So we got the improvisational bit out of the way. I got to say what I had to say. Now let's talk about Jussie Smollette. Yes, I will talk about the news. I don't particularly like to. I like to talk about other things, but this one really got my attention in a big way, because we all know by now the 16 charges against Jussie in Chicago for doing what apparently was just like this harebrained hoax. All the charges were dropped. He will not get his bail money back. He's getting time for community service. Now, I was watching the evening news tonight, and they had the Chicago DA, I'm sorry, I can't remember the guy's name, and they're talking to him and says, why did you do this? What he said was kind of interesting. First-time offender. First-time offender? Lizzie Borden could have said first-time offender too, so what? But he did make an interesting point. He's like, you know, in our system, what I'm trying to do is convict murderers. In that sense, a Jussie Smollette case would have been wasting the court's time. I was thinking about this the other day, that our courts are clogged. So, from a practical standpoint, I can understand why the guy went that way. He basically got Rahm Emanuel mad at him. He got the chief of police. What is he, Eddie Johnson of Chicago, the chief of police? He's mad. But I'll tell you what. I was having a conversation with my dad earlier, and Dad, he's great. He's like, I'm watching the news. I don't know what to believe anymore. And I'm like, Dad, I was there like 3-4 years ago. I'm watching YouTube all the time. I am a content absorber, which is why I'm not the content creator I wish to be. I hope to get to that point, but I absorb content like nobody's business. I've been watching guys on YouTube for years saying, you can't believe what you hear on the news. Here's my view of it. And I'm the guy with the political science. I minored in political science when I was in college. It's, you know, a lifetime concern. I eat this stuff like popcorn. I watch the news and I say to myself, that's the cover story. That's all. That's the story that government officials let out, the explanation that people demand, but it's the cover story. What may be going on behind the scenes might be 10 times more interesting, what I think might be going on with the Jussie Smollette case, I'm going to speculate here, but here's the DA in Chicago, here's the prosecutor going, wait a minute, we just got word that Smollett's defense team has an ace up their sleeve, which means that if we do go to trial with this, in the middle of the trial, they're going to turn the tables on us, and they are going to point at one of the Nigerian brothers as the true instigator of this nefarious plot. Because here's what's interesting. One of the Nigerian brothers, I don't remember their names, but you know what I'm talking about. One of them was actually selling Jussie Smollette Molly, which is ecstasy. Okay, so here's Jussie. He gets on the stand possibly during a trial. He's like, well, I was under the influence of ecstasy. I wasn't thinking clearly. And you know, this Nigerian brother, he's a very forceful personality. He's actually a lot bigger than me. I was a little bit afraid of him. And he really thought it was a good idea if I went along with this. If that is what the prosecutor has to look at, he's probably saying to himself, I can't win this. It'll blow up in my face. It'll be a circus. I don't need this headache. Let's just make it go away, because in 24 hours, everybody's going to forget it anyhow in this news cycle world of ours. So that's my 2 cents. I think that kind of might be what is happening, and would also explain the sealed indictments, because, you know, that's that. You know, just get this off the stage. You know, people in Hollywood, you know, they can deal with him. Just let us forget the whole thing. So, I do talk about the news occasionally. See, I just did it again. I actually have the word scotch taped to the glass of a medicine cabinet that's behind this camera. I'm staring at it. You know, it just dropped from the ceiling on me. So, what are we going to talk about next? What happened between now and the last video? Yes, that's a good thing to talk about, because what happened with the last video, which you may have seen, it's where I end up singing, after I do some talking, I end up singing New Minglewood Blues by the Grateful Dead. Which in the video I said New Minglewood Blues, which I guess is sort of an error, although they sometimes call that song that anyhow. So here's what ended up happening. I'm like feeling really, really good, you know, like right now. And I have like Dick's Picks number 13, which had New Minglewood Blues on it. In fact, hold on, don't go anywhere. I brought it with me. Yes, here we have it. Dick's Picks, number 13. Very, very good. Very, very good. And it's got New Minglewood Blues on it. So, last Tuesday, I put it in the CD player and it came on. And I'm like shaking my ass to it. And I'm singing right along to it. And I had a great time. It was a lot of fun doing it. To the 3 people who have seen that video so far, thank you. Then what ended up happening is I go home on Wednesday. I stay over Tuesday, I go home on Wednesday. And I put the video together with my yak and the song, and I tried uploading it. And it was going great guns for a while, and then I noticed around 9:30 it's at 46%, uploading the video, YouTube video, uploading at 46%. I was like, okay. And at 11 p.m. I'm looking, it's like at 46% still. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to bed. And I'm going to wake up in the morning, and we'll see if it completely uploaded. And I got up in the morning, and the first thing I did, well, after I had my coffee, I sit down, I go, still 46%, all right. I'm going to cancel this upload, and then I'm going to clear caches. Sometimes it's little things like that that'll get in the way, although in this particular case, I don't know if that's really what's going on. But anyway, I attempted to upload the video again, left the apartment for a while, came back, oh, it's all uploaded, everything is fine. So then I go to my YouTube page, the Human Nature channel, and they have Creator Studio, and you click on Creator Studio, and you get this window, and you know, you get all the pertinent information on your videos, and it's like, wait, I got a copyright notification. Well, I wondered if that was going to happen, right? Because you got to understand, it's a pretty darn good stereo system. Would it have happened if I was like playing it over a little, like, you know, one speaker? I don't know. But the algorithm picks up the fact that I have this song. And I mean, when I checked out the copyright notification, they were great. They even said Dick's Picks Volume 13. I'm like, you know, the algorithm, they have all of these songs in their database. So if you put up a video with a song complete and the AI can hear it, go, oh, wait a minute, that sounds like New England Blues. And so it gets the copyright notification. Now, it's not a copyright strike. A copyright strike would be, 3 of them, I think it's what? In a month's time, and you're off YouTube. It's serious stuff. I mean, you're really, yeah, you're basically saying, you know, I wrote Justin Bieber's songs and I'm going to sing them. And, you know, I mean, if you say something like really insane, like I'm really trying to steal his material, yes. Now, there is the issue of fair use, and I have had some experience with fair use versus copyright notifications in the past, because I do have another YouTube channel which is called Movie That's So Groovy. There's 7 videos up. I had a lot of fun doing them. There is a reason I semi-walked away from that channel. One of it was the way I was doing it was getting really unwieldy. I was wearing costumes. I was using a lot of clips. The editing was intense. Hey, I'm a one-man operation here, you know. So, and also, funny thing, just as a side, I ended up getting like this huge floater in my right eye. It just came out of nowhere actually it was last March. Put me off from doing the type of intensive editing that those videos require. But anyway, you know, Movie That's So Groovy with Alex. I had one copyright notification on my video that reviewed for a few dollars more. I had another copyright notification on, I think it's called War on Everyone. I got a second one. So I had 2 at first. I made them both go away. I changed the first one. I actually cut some stuff out and they seemed happy with it. Now, what was interesting about War on Everyone, I get the copyright notification and I challenge it. And I say, Lionsgate Studio, in my notes under my YouTube video, you will see that there is a link to the Amazon page where you can buy the Blu-ray copy of War on Everyone. I'm trying to sell your movie. I'm on your side, or some, you know, well, I didn't say that. But anyway, it made the copyright notification go away. I'm like, oh, well, that was good. Lionsgate Films, you guys are all right. Now, the third copyright notification I got was for the review of the movie Mean Girls. Again, it's clip intensive. I tell some of the story to make it enticing. I really did like that movie too. So when I got a copyright notification on that one, I challenged it and I said the same thing that I said to Lionsgate Films. This happens to be Paramount. But they rejected my claim. They said, sorry, nope, doesn't work on us. I'm like, I'm trying to sell your movie. I love the movie. I actually think Mean Girls is a very smart, very funny comedy. I mean, laugh out loud funny. Really enjoy that film. However, I'm rebuked. Oh. Now, I can challenge it a second time if I wish. I tried that. I went the step into it, and they require contact information. All right. At that point, I'm like, how deep do I want to get into this? How important is it? I got one movie. See, copyright notification means you'll never be monetized. Okay, just to put that in perspective. But anyway, they wanted contact information, and then there's the implied threat that if we reject your second claim under fair use, you know, Mean Girls movie review video might get taken down. And I'm like, I don't know if I could live with that. So anyway, I just didn't. I decided not to pursue it. If you ever go over to that channel, you know, some of the videos actually got an interesting, you know, a nice amount of views because I thought they were actually pretty good. People who've seen them like them. Anyway, getting back over to the Human Nature channel and New Minglewood Blues, it also has a copyright notification. You know, and this is the Grateful Dead, right? Excuse me. I'm an old Deadhead. I went to a lot of Grateful Dead shows in my day, going back to the 70s. I've seen them in closed arenas. I've seen them in sports stadiums. But seeing them out in the open where you have the stage and then you have like, you know, a couple of acres of sloping field and it's all covered in grass. And those were the fun shows. I went to a couple of those. Went to one at Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. That was so much fun. I got as close to the stage, as close to the Grateful Dead as you could want. I mean, there they were, close enough where you could see their faces. It was really wonderful. I am a big fan of the band. Every member of that band was a virtuoso. And then there was Jerry, who was at one level higher. And the man was amazing. There was this Mozart quality about him. I remember reading an interview with Jerry where he says, you know, I couldn't play the same song the same way twice. It was very, very musically inventive. You know, that's why he wasn't particularly interested in doing records. He called them artifacts. The live show was the thing. You know, this is a touring band. You know, we love our audience. We're gonna take care of you guys, and that's kind of how it was. The bond between the band and the audience was like no other rock band I've ever really seen. You know, I've been to a lot of other rock shows, and it's like, no, Dead shows were something special. You got to go back to the early days with Mr. Garcia and the band. Mid 60s at some point. They were originally called the Warlocks, and then they changed the name of the Grateful Dead and started doing shows. And it becomes famous when the Dead becomes connected with like Ken Kesey and the Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test. But in the early days, I even heard Garcia say this, we're surprised when there were more people in the audience than there were on stage, right? But in the early days, people would come up to Jerry and say, hey, can we record the show? And Jerry would say, yeah, sure. This is the kernel of marketing brilliance. This is Jerry, and probably didn't even realize how brilliant it was. But basically what he's doing is he's giving his best stuff away free. And then everybody else will buy all the other stuff. It is a brilliant marketing strategy. It's completely counterintuitive. There is nobody in corporate business who understands this. Give your best stuff away free, but that's exactly what Jerry Garcia did. And he created a community, okay? So, you know, to explain the Dead, I mean, I know some people go, the Grateful Dead, not on my speakers. I understand. You know, it's not for everyone. It's, actually, it's, in some respects, it's a little too country for some people, but, you know, we're not going to talk about that. But, yes, here was the brilliance of Jerry Garcia. Yeah, sure, you know, give our free stuff away for free. And it was a tradition that lasted as long as the Grateful Dead lasted. Now, the last I heard, the reconstituted Dead, which calls itself the Dead, now prohibits what used to be. I loved it. It was amazing. It was an amazing sight. Half an acre of microphones in the sky on poles, and you had all the guys who were recording. I mean, before digital, early digital, I mean, you had the audio enthusiasts who were recording the show, and then they go out and, oh, you know, this show from, like, you know, oh, yeah, I got this show from, where the heck was this? Nassau Coliseum. Wherever, Nassau Coliseum, what is that, Florida? I'll have to look that up. But, you know, you get the idea. I mean, it is a culture, it is a community, and you walk in, and actually, for the most part, hey, you know, we're all here and we're all friends and, you know, we're all on the same wavelength and let's have a good time. So that's how it was. So I put on the Grateful Dead singing New Minglewood Blues, and I got a copyright notification. And I'm just kind of musing about how far we've come from the old days when it really was freeform, when they had the right idea. We look at our world today and we ask ourselves, does anybody have the right idea? Well, back then, in that context, mid-60s, San Francisco, Haight-Ashbury, Jerry Garcia had the right idea. And that's why we're still talking about the Grateful Dead and their musical legacy, which is amazing. So, I'm done winging it. What I'm going to do now is play you a clip of me singing a song, which I record early. The way this works is I get the song out of the way first. And once the song's done, then I can get down and do the extended ramble. The song is Sundown, written by Gordon Lightfoot. Later. I can see her lying back in her satin dress in a room where you do what you don't confess. Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. She's been looking like a queen in a sailor's dream, and she don't always say what she really means. Sometimes I think it's a shame when I get feeling better when I'm feeling no pain. Sometimes I think it's a shame when I get feeling better when I'm feeling no pain. I can picture every move that a man could make. Getting lost in her loving is your first mistake. Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. Sometimes I think it's a sin when I feel like I'm winning when I'm losing again. I can see her looking fast in her faded jeans. She's a hard-loving woman, got me feeling mean. Sometimes I think it's a shame when I get feeling better when I'm feeling no pain. Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. Sometimes I think it's a sin when I feel like I'm winning when I'm losing again. Well, let's see how that sounded.